You cannot beat a child and expect that child not to cry. Normal. It is logical that you cannot hit somebody or hurt the person and expect the person not to react. But the reverse is the case. The reverse is actually the case in everything concerning Nigeria, because the opposition has done what they wanted to do and they expect you not to react. They expect you to just suck it up and move on. They didn't care about unity before the election. They didn't care about peace before the election. They did everything they wanted to do to win. Some of them say, let's just win. Shama win. And now they want you to be patriotic and accept their bullshit. This is the assessment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell and follow me as I give you undiluted assessment. A lot of things happened in the 2023 elections. Things that we will not get into now because we've covered them before. But there are a lot of outcomes, a lot of reactions that have followed it that way. Because the obedient movement have said that, oh no, we are not going to take this lying down. They said we should go to court. We are going to court and we are going to fight propaganda with facts. Even though there's some propaganda in the obedient movement. But isn't there in anything? But now the opposition have come with a tactic and they've done so through, let me not say, maybe he's speaking for himself. Professor Wole Soyinka, the Nobel Prize laureate, our esteemed professor, has come out to call the obedient movement fascist movement. It is shocking because when I actually thought about it, fascism is something that has been ascribed to Hitler. And are you trying to compare the obedient movement with the movement that Hitler did? Because it is illogical and it doesn't make sense in any way. And you would better wonder, like, why did he say this? Let's watch the video first of what he said.
This was another build-up, significant momentum in the mobilization of alternative force within the nation. So there was alarm, one, by the old brigade, and as I said, there was a creeping fascism within the ranks by the new brigade. I watched a program, and when I watched this person speaking on air, I said, I understand, I can see what I was hearing now about. I could see how this new force was beginning to lose momentum, was beginning to lose even...
So when he says something about, I watched the program, and he was so scared about what the person said, like the person has just called for the end of government and stuff like that. You would think that, oh, maybe he watched the program of a terrorist, or maybe he watched the program of somebody that was threatening the Nigerian government. No, the program he was talking about was the interview granted by Dati Baba Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, where he asked the security officials, where he asked the presidency, where he asked INEC and the court to respect the constitution, or his own definition or his own interpretation of the Constitution. We all have our own interpretation of the law. And our rights are guaranteed under the Constitution. Freedom of expression, that one can express what we feel. I can say what I feel inside my mind as long as it doesn't affect anybody or it doesn't bring anybody to violence. This is something that Wole Soyinka has compared to fascism. It's shocking. It's even more shocking when you watch the video and you realize what he was crying about. Let's watch the video.
A ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it.
That's your interpretation.
That is my interpretation, and that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dati Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating.
It is complete fact. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement should not be declared as winner of an election. And it is fact. It is not left for the judiciary to interpret. It is the right of the citizen to express what they feel, to say how they feel it, and it is left for the judiciary to interpret. And when the judiciary interprets, every single person in the country will obey. Now, when you ascribe this to fascism, the question is your loyalty to Nigeria or the loyalty to somebody else? Because this is something that is very, very, very clear. Because it's something that everybody is bringing, everybody from the opposition is trying to bring in at the moment. Let's just stack this movement, the fascist movement. Maybe we'll reduce their steam. Maybe we'll bring down their image in the international community. Maybe nobody will take them seriously. Maybe this, maybe that. And that is their plan, and that is the idea. And the funny thing is, people that are supposed to be the conscience of the country, the conscience of the society, are the people that are promoting these things that are technically and factually untrue. It is shocking. But no matter anything, there are people that will always stand up to call out all these things. People that will say that, oh no, this doesn't make sense. And somebody actually came out to say what he feels. What is actually the factual thing? Let's listen.
We have seen a situation where a Nobel laureate, all of us virtually deify beyond canonization, begins to now have a cloud of doubt before him, losing a moral compass and talking about fascism. That's the most individualistic human being I've ever seen in my life in terms of individuality of the human subject. Soyinka is not bound to anything in terms of guided by individuals or spirits. He's his own being, his own entity, ontologically speaking. For him now to descend into the arena, not make comments that are worthy of him before the election, with ethnic profiling, with violence in Lagos, and suddenly willing to this matter. Many stakeholders have said, is that the Wole Soyinka we know?
Well, in fairness,
this is something that actually every single person, every single sane human being, I mark the word sane, will ask. Before the election, there was ethnic profiling. There was violence on the election day. There were people suppressing the votes of other people, telling people that if you are not from a certain tribe, you are not allowed to vote. There was massive rigging. There was massive violence. There were deaths of people. There were attacks of people in polling units. These are all things that are elements of fascism, because fascism in itself is actually suppressing opposition. And when the rights of people to vote are trampled upon, it becomes fascism. When in a democracy, people that come to express their free will, their rights enshrined in the Constitution, to express and elect who they want to elect, when it is prevented, it becomes fascism. And that is what people like Soyinka should be calling out. But no, he didn't call it out. He never said a word. He never gave an interview. He never said anything. And it is fact. You can scour around the internet and ask any question. He never gave an interview when all those things were happening. Why? This is the question you should ask. Why? Why is Wole Soyinka now speaking up? Why didn't he say something in 2015 when the vice presidential candidate of the APC, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, called for an interim government? Dati Baba Ahmed never called for an interim government. Peter Obi has never called for an interim government. Peter Obi has always said he will reclaim his mandate in the legal means. He has always asked his followers to abide with peace, go about their duties and their activities peacefully. Dati Baba Ahmed has never called for a violence. He has never called for dethroning. He has never called for breakdown of law and order. He has never called for forceful removal of a sitting government. But Professor Yemi Osinbajo, by fact, has called for an interim government. The party APC has called for an interim government and said if they didn't win the 2015 election, an interim government will be instituted. And people like Wole Soyinka could not say anything. Let's watch the video of Yemi Osinbajo.
The statement that I read earlier on attributed to the chairman of your party saying they're going to form a parallel government.
Yes.
What do you make of it?
Well, that is a position.
Do you see it as inciting?
I don't think so. I don't think it's inciting. Why is that inciting? There's nothing that incites about that. I don't think that would necessarily lead anyone to violence or lead anyone to do anything.
Forming a parallel government, that's not calling for anarchy.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
But it could be.
No, not necessarily. Look at cases. Let's look at political.
You know, the thing about life is, when you're a man and you want to actually call out injustice, you should call out injustice, but you should never be a hypocrite. And I am sad. I'm really sad, but I must say it. Wole Soyinka was a hypocrite in his statement, because if he couldn't call that out in 2015, then he has no moral right to call out something that is not even up to this. He has no right. There were pictures on social media of Jonathan in coffee. There were pictures of massive insult of Jonathan's wife. There were insults on the ruling party, a sitting president, and people like Soyinka did not come to say anything because he supported the opposing party in power. Now he has found his voice miraculously to say fascism. Nigerians, do not be deceived. Don't let these people whitewash you or gaslight you. Believe what you believe and defend what you want to defend. As long as you go through everything in the legal means, you have broken no law. Don't let anybody trample upon you. Don't let anybody tell you that do this, do this, do this, do this. It has been shown that our elders in this country don't care about anything. They only care about themselves. They only care about their standing in the society. That is what they only care about. They don't care about you, the young people. So they can say anything to gaslight. They can speak the biggest grammar to gaslight. They can appear to be neutral to gaslight. But the fact remains, corn, they their pocket. Corn, they their pocket. And that is what you should remember. Go about everything you want to do peacefully. Don't go to violence, because that's what they are waiting for you to do. Do everything you want to do peacefully. And if the judiciary decides that, okay, they want to uphold the election, good and fine. If they decide they don't want to, still good and fine. But always abide by peace and don't let these people push you to do what they want to do. That's the assessment today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Follow me as I give you undiluted assessment.